Coming to you live from Benin City, and we've got here with us His Excellency Governor of Edo State, Adams Oshiomhole. Thank you for coming on this morning, Your Excellency.
Thank you, my comrades.
Let's start off with the economy. I mean, it's everywhere, the recession that we're in. Can that be described as the APC not having delivered on their promises?
No, I don't think so. I think that I've said this to many people. In every aspect of life, there is always a time lag between an act and the consequences of a particular action. In every aspect of life, we will talk about health, right? From the time you start eating the wrong stuff, and where it begins to impact on your blood pressure or your level of cholesterol. There's always a time lag. Now, over the past couple of years, people who should know, put all of us on notice about the level of bleeding of the economy, the rate at which, our reserves were being depleted by reckless looting, not just misapplication of resources, but clear looting of public funds. A central bank governor, a seasoned banker, now the Emir of Kano, revealed that what you were earning at the peak of your prosperity, when oil averaged between $108 to $140 a barrel, that as much as $40 billion was not accounted for. And they were arguing that they're going to do book reconciliation, they're going to be auditing. Now, these monies that were flowing out, if they were otherwise preserved, you would have had huge reserves to support your national currency. Every aspect of the economy, whether it was in the aviation sector, you were doing taking huge sums of numbers to do little things, and so if you were bleeding so much and you ended up not building up the reserve, meanwhile part of the consequences of few people having access to such huge rents is that it distorts consumption. And so we other couple of years, Nigeria had the highest per capita numbers of private jets procured with dollars and serviced in dollars. I mean, everybody talks about it, that you have more private jets for few people than you have for the entire country. I mean, you can look at every aspect. So if you did it safe, and because of the way in which we were earning, our consumption was so distorted that side by side with making so much noise, the right rhetoric, I might say, on agriculture, what it can do, agriculture as a business, the entire value chain, all the right stuff for rhetoric is fine. And at the same time, you had people whose main business was to import expired rice into the country because you have huge free income that was flowing. So people were consuming beyond what they can legitimately account for. And then all of a sudden, you had a new government that promised change. Yes, everybody noticed we're going wrong. Nigerians agreed things were going wrong. That was why they voted out that government, because the level of abuse got to a point that it didn't require any researcher to see through what was going wrong. And so you had a change. Now, the problem is, you can't fix it overnight. Now, look at it. What has changed? The CBN governor is the same CBN governor that PDP appointed. And he's told us how, because you have so much free money in the system. And I don't know what to think, A former CBN governor said, look, let us encourage Nigerians to use the banking system more. And you had what became known as cashless policy. Okay? All these were deliberate tools designed to encourage people to take money out under the pillow and put it in the banking system. But then what happened during that period? It became easier to get dollars than to get naira. People we typically can afford to find $100,000, $1 million than you can find maybe 50,000 naira from our banking system. And so when you have such huge sums of money, I don't know what you make of the fact that even senior military officers, well exposed, well educated, whose communities came under Boko Haram attack, from what we know now, and these are no longer matters of speculation, these are confessions, that they had so much dollars, they took direct from the banking system and put in a sockaway pits or whatever you call it. Mm-hmm. So if you bleeded the system like that, now President Buhari has come in and the APC federal government and found that you don't just have the reserve to support a particular pattern of consumption which was import-based. Now, the first thing was to say, can we continue this way? Everybody agreed we shouldn't. And so you try to order these people importing all sorts of food items, to discourage them from accessing official forex. Of course, what should do that? They no longer can have access to cheap dollars. They now import this thing at a margin that is higher. Of course, because your appetite for import is still strong, you have so much pressure on the dollar. When you deny them official access, the black market access went up. People then talk about round tripping. We had this conversation in Lagos. Some of us said, devalue the naira has never helped. Others said, okay, but if you don't devalue, prices are being determined on the basis of black market rate rather than official rate. And therefore, those who have access to official market were making a kill. The president resisted. After some time, he had to give in. And once you devalue the naira, and your anything you now import, including food items, the prices simply go up. That is the way the ordinary man begin to feel high cost of living.
Does that mean that this government doesn't have superior policies to turn things?
There are, but those superior policies, it's not like because your power system is hopelessly inefficient, you bought a generator, and so you are going to be able to shift from power to generator overnight. No, the economy doesn't work that way. There has to be a time lag between when you formulate policies on the basis of what you find on ground and when the benefit of those policies begin to manifest. I mean, if it takes 60 years to get to this terrible state we are in, why will anybody think that other 15 months of a new government, you will fix it? No.
Yeah, but some people also...
I've never had that illusion. There are no miracles in the life of nations.
A lot of people are not exonerating this government. They are saying that, they also believe that it contributed to the problem by not marshalling out a plan. They knew that there was going to be an emergency pretty soon. They did not see any plan marshaled out to try and see how that can be averted.
I think that I'm not able to share this view. Maybe we might say government is not explaining enough. But to think that there is no policy, that is not correct. There have been huge debate on a couple of issues, but if you are not explaining convincingly.
For instance, I'll give you one instance. For instance, it took the president, 6 months, at the very least, to appoint ministers. And people said, if this were the same people you were going to appoint, you could have done that from day one. You don't share those people's views?
Well, but if you are not on the desk, it's just like Nigeria football. Everybody know the right player. Everybody know when the coach will have replaced the goalkeeper. Everybody know that striker ought to have been withdrawn, except the coach. What is the particular beauty of rushing to roll out names of ministers? I mean, I think we've moved beyond that now. Given what the president has seen, because don't forget, he painstakingly had conversation with every line ministry, talking to the permanent secretaries, the directors, MDAs, to get some insight into what was going on in each of these agencies. So beyond first identify the right number of people or the kind of persons you needed to appoint, I think he also needed to understand what was going on in each area in order to be able to appreciate even better the quality of persons in need, in particular MDAs and ministries.